Hi everyone, my name is Shania Hunter. Today I will be talking to you about yeast infections. Did you know that 1 million women in the United States have yeast infections in a year according to the Cleveland Clinic? I will be talking about the general facts on yeast infections like the causes, symptoms, and treatments. A lot of women have gotten a yeast infection and don't know exactly what's going on. So it's best to be educated on this because it's so common. Most young women don't know the symptoms and the causes of yeast infections, and it can be scary to some. Now all schools go into detail about yeast infections. For young women, and that's who needs this education the most, again, I will be going over the general facts on yeast infections, like the causes, symptoms, and the treatments. To begin with, let's go over the cause of yeast infections. Starting off, yeast infections don't have to come from sexual intercourse. The body has a mixed balance of yeast, and this comes from Canada. Wearing tight undergarments can cause you to get yeast infections. For example, you want to wear loose clothing like sweatpants or leggings, and you want to only wear cotton underwear. You also want to refrain from douching because this is another cause of yeast infections, which is what you want to avoid so you can protect the natural bacteria. Using scented feminine products and unnatural products can also cause yeast infections. You want to avoid using products like Vagisil and Summer's Eve. Some natural chemical-free products are Honey Pot, which is good for your lady parts. Next, I want to go over the symptoms of yeast infections. The symptoms of yeast infections include the following. Itching and irritation is one of the big symptoms for yeast infections. Another one is also burning during using the bathroom or intercourse. It can be very uncomfortable. And women will also get a thick, white, odor-free discharge that looks like cottage cheese. Lastly, I want to go over the treatments of yeast infections. Here are the following treatments of yeast infections. Taking an antifungal medication for 3 to 7 days usually clears the infection. There is a single dose oral medication that your doctor will prescribe to you, and it's called fluconazole. Antifungal medications are also available as ointments, creams, tablets, and suppositories. In conclusion, these are the general facts of yeast infections, including the causes, symptoms, and the treatments. Not many people think that yeast infections are treatable, and I am here to inform you about them and what can be done and to avoid them from happening. I hope today that you learned that yeast infections aren't something to be ashamed of because it's very common. Yeast infections do not always occur during intercourse, just your living style. How long was that?